Alright, hello, welcome back to the podcast. Once again, everybody, PayPal and Patreon links are both down below for anybody who wants to support me, only just so if you actually can. So potentially, hopefully, brief episode this time, another broader subject matter coverage, dealing in the coming, and in some cases already present, permanent changes to your life or your lifescape around you. As those of you who have been on the channel for a long time are well aware, the prosperity age is over. It ended back in the 2000s with the first oil production peak. It was a pleasant 5 or 6 decades or so while it lasted, but it's over now. For those who are unaware of what I'm referring to, I'll link a video up in the corner. It ended with the first oil peak in the late 2000s, and we sort of returned to it for the last decade or so, but it was, as most of you could probably feel, much more of a propped up facade of it than an actual return. And as they typically are, facades and illusions are much more fragile than whatever the actual thing is, so it was only ever going to take one Jenga block pulled out for the facade to come crashing down. And way more than one block was pulled out from under, let me tell you, because there was this thing called 2020. And since then, we have now most likely entered the actually visible end. So what new undesirable realities is this actually going to result in? Various things that you may have seen a few times before, scattered here and there as occasional incidents over a long course of time. Well, some of those are now going to become permanent features. One of those being consistently visible low stocks and or empty shelves. Now, this does not mean literally everything in the store. This just means in general now, you will pretty consistently always see some set of products or some aisles consistently either very low in stock or actually empty. Sometimes it'll be this stuff, other times it'll be that stuff. And these will be for so many different reasons, because all the reasons that you could dream up are now going to be coming together. Next on the list of things you're going to see is a vast contraction in the number of chain outlets, as well as the gradual vanishing of small businesses and even smaller chain businesses, as costs of operations rapidly increase and as available stock of items becomes not enough to actually keep all of the ridiculous numbers in terms of some chains shelves stocked with things. They are going to, and in many locations they already actually have been, going down the path of consolidation, and they're actually going to start shutting down in waves whatever stores, outlets, units they consider excessive and unprofitable, and far, far fewer standalone, as the excessive cost realities that we're going to be heading into are going to squeeze small businesses out of function. You will also inevitably see, some countries in Europe, I believe, actually already started to see this a few times back in the 2010s, the inevitable downscaling and even withdrawal in some cases of social provision programs, pensions, social security, medical coverage, and things, as our governments are gradually going to be having less and less tax revenue to actually work with because of the compounding effects of A, the excessive cost future that we're heading into will obviously affect them themselves, as they will have to pay more for things and thus will be able to afford fewer of them. It will affect businesses being able to generate profits, and as their profits go down, that's a huge chunk of federal tax revenue that gets reduced, and especially then as people are able to afford fewer and fewer things, and as more and more people end up jobless, as businesses are no longer able to pay them all that much. That is fewer and fewer sales taxes and fewer income taxes that the government is going to be able to draw revenue off of, and an increasing amount of rebates they're going to have to give back as income levels and the like slip lower and lower. You will also soon see and get used to fuel prices being permanently above what we're going to refer to as the threshold. It's different in every country because pricing is different in every country, but for everyone in your own country, you'll know what it is. Like for the US, it was $4 a gallon, and I think for Canada, it was probably something like $2 per liter maybe. But there's always, since we approached the end of the prosperity age, or since the end of it started in the 2000s, there's always been that price, that fuel, whatever the price may be in your country, has come close to and maybe exceeded a few times for very, very short time frames, but then fallen back down from, And it's always held some kind of mental milestone in your head of like when you pass that, then you've entered, this new cost territory. You are going to see and thus end up getting used to more often than less often now staying above. Essentially, the whole dynamic of the last 20 years is going to invert itself, and instead of being a dreaded threshold price that fuel goes up to every now and then depending on global circumstances, it's now going to invert itself and become something that you occasionally get to see. You'll get to see prices actually drop back down to and slightly below it for short periods of time. Another issue, one that's going to end up drawing law enforcement's attention, is at first slowly at small scale alongside, however as the prices continue rising, eventually growing to likely similar sizes as the drug gangs and cartels and everything, are going to be metals and material theft gangs or theft rings and cartels, stealing and ripping apart vehicles, household appliances, and everything for the various base metals, precious metals, platinum group metals inside them. And of course, for those who don't do it already, self-cost policing is quickly going to become part of many people's lives as people find themselves having to constantly double check back after themselves, making sure by whatever means necessary that they're willing to, that they are utilizing as little energy as possible, and in some regions of the world, particularly like the southwestern US, as little water as possible, as we inevitably phase into a time period over the coming decade or two where various types of bills start, doubling in cost and then eventually hitting like 3, 4, 5 times. Alright, so that's the end of this generalized list of upcoming or semi-already present changes. So thank everybody for sticking around and listening. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, like always. And as always, there's plenty of other episodes about all kinds of stuff if you want to watch or listen to any of those. PayPal and Patreon links are both down below if you want to support me, only do so if you actually can. Subscribe to my cat too for much less depressing content. And also if she eventually gets up to 1,000 subs, her channel can get monetized as well. But that's it for me for now, so may God bless and protect you all, and I will see you all around next time.